episode of Southern Boy Farms. I'm Kelvin, and today we are going to plant some squash inside of containers. For me, here in South Florida, one of my biggest problems has always been powdery mildew. So this time of the year for me is the best time in which to plant because this is South Florida's dry season, or at least we're coming to the end of the dry season, which is our fall and winter time. So what I'm going to do is put these into containers so that I can spread them apart far enough so that they get enough airflow around the leaves and hopefully help to keep them dry. Also, by planting them in containers outside of the beds, they'll only be watered when they absolutely need to be watered, and I can make sure that they're watered at their base and not on the leaves. Again, helping to prevent the moisture buildup that will cause powdery mildew. So, I am going to plant a zucchini squash. This is a Nimba zucchini. And I'm going to plant straight neck heirloom yellow squash. Now, I should have gotten the yellow squash planted by the beginning of February. So I went on ahead and I went to Home Depot and I bought this pack of starts for the yellow, but I do have time for the zucchini, so I'm going to just go ahead and direct sow the seeds into 5-gallon containers. So what I plan on doing is to take, and I eat a lot more zucchini than I do yellow squash. The yellow squash I can just take, cut it up, blanch it, put it in the freezer, and I'll have it for soups when I need it. The zucchini, I'm going to grow 2 now, and in about 3 weeks I'm going to plant 2 more, so that I have this continual growth of zucchini throughout its probable growing season here. So what you want to do is go ahead and have a pot that is at least 12 inches wide and a depth equal to 12 inches also, because the roots tend to go down. My experience with transplanting has been that zucchinis and yellow squash don't like to really have their roots disturbed. So as best as possible, I try to go ahead and direct sow them, but again, lazy me, I waited too long and I need to go ahead and do this. So I'm going to try, because this is actually 2 plants, I'm going to try to show you how I somewhat safely separate them, and hopefully it'll work for the best. Here alongside the pool, I have set up 4 5-gallon containers, and I've put in my own blend of potting soil, cocoa coir, 40% peat moss, 20% of a combine of vermiculite and perlite, and that gives me the mixture that I need. However, if you don't want to buy all of those things and mix your own, just go out and get yourself a good quality potting mix that you can use. So, zucchini and squash are also very heavy feeders. So you want to make sure that you not only have a good soil mix, but you also want to have it well previously amended. So I'm going to go ahead and amend all 4 pots with both an organic blood meal, which is 1200, and some organic bone meal, which is a 4120. So bone meal for the strength and growing of the roots, get a good strong root system going, and blood meal, nitrogen, so that we can go ahead and have nice big green leaves, so that everything can produce well throughout its life. So for a 5-gallon container, I only need 1 tablespoon. So I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of bone meal to each. And 1 tablespoon of bone meal. And then I'll work these in really well. Just into about the first 1 to 2 inches of the soil, that's all you do. You don't want to put it down too far because what's up must go down. So eventually, as it's watered, all of the supplement, as it becomes water soluble, will all drip down to the bottom of the pot. So now for the transplanting. For pots 1 and 2, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the yellow squash. So remove them from the container that they come in. And you want to very gently pry them apart. Try to leave as much of the original soil around them, and at the same time detangling their roots. Now, what you can do is you can go ahead and place these into water to remove soil, and that gives you a little bit more spacing, but I don't like to do that because a lot of times not having the original soil just makes things difficult. So now we'll go ahead, place it in, and you want to get it in the pot at a depth of its original soil line. Next, we have the zucchini squash, and these go in at 1/2 to 1 inch deep. You only need 1 each, but I always like to play safety, so I'll put 2 in each, and once they grow up, then I'll go ahead and thin it out to 1. So happy that these seeds are much bigger. A lot of times when I'm planting like carrots and that kind of stuff, the seeds are so small to where I'm like, shoot, just go ahead and plant a whole bunch, because I can't, these meaty fingers aren't going to get one of those little teeny tiny seeds. And again, 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and cover it over. And that's it. Last but not least, we go ahead and get everything well watered in, get it off to its best start. That's it. So, zucchini, yellow squash, both planted into 5-gallon containers so that I can keep them spaced far enough apart to help to reduce the probability of them becoming afflicted with powdery mildew. Well, if you like the show, give us a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. We have quite a bit more coming up. And until the next time, as I always say, love yourself, love those around you. Cost you nothing, but it'll mean so much to both you and those around you. Be well, and for those of you up there experiencing the nor'easter this time, hang in there, because troubles don't last always. All right? Have a good one. Bye.